going on? RGIJ is back, baby.
And I see the word not
So
there
when-
yet because I will.
When you're a mega millionaire, will you consider like anybody close to you, maybe relatives and whatnot, giving them something? Like for me, for example, I'll say, for example, like let's say I won the lottery, or I did some business or whatever. I came with some idea or something. Let's say I'm like $50 million or whatever. I will probably look at my family and say, okay, let me give you this much to, maybe clear some debt, do whatever you want to do. Okay, for you, I'm going to give you this much, whatever you want to do with it, maybe start up a business, whatever the case may be. And, I'll just compensate the bloodline with, just money like that. If I was somebody that had $50 million, will you do something like that between any of your friends, maybe family? Will you say, yo, Izzy, for you, I'm going to give you 1 million so that way you could do whatever the hell you want to do with it?
No. And the reason why though, no, seriously, the reason why is you give people money that didn't earn it. Like, okay, like if somebody's, let's say they're 30 grand in debt.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like if somebody's 30 grand in debt and you pay off their debt, they're going to go back in debt. Like that's just, they don't know how to pay it off themselves. Like instead of that, what I would like to do, if I had someone who's sitting there saying like, bro, I need this money. I really, really, really like that. Okay, cool, man. What's your plan? I will sit with you. I will give you the most valuable time, most valuable resource I have, my time.
Right.
I will help you understand how money's made, how to actually take care of your debt. Because if I pay that stuff for you, do I have it? At that point, yes. But you will be right back in this situation a year later. And then you're going to look at me. And then I just paid you $30,000 to get you out of my life, right? Because you're never going to come back in my life. That's just the truth, yeah. Right? So, and I believe in like kind of like what Ludacris does, like, man, like, Rick Ross, all these dudes that like, they have everybody around them, but they work for them. And it's like, if I'm going to take care of somebody, then we all work together. Then we provide value. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just giving you 30,000 for no reason. Hey, you're working, you're doing this for me now. Now you work for me in a sense of, and I got you. We take care of each other, and that's my way of caring for people. Sitting there saying, how can I help you succeed? By giving you resources, and maybe not even the resources. Yep. How about I just show you what I do? Because if I give you money and you don't know how to make money and you don't respect money, which a lot of people do not respect money. That's why they're in credit card debt, because they don't respect it. Right. If they respect those things, they have that money and stuff like that, then they won't even need you. Even me, if I have a rich friend who's like, dude, I'm a millionaire, I'll give you $30 million. I don't need it, man. I have the tools I need to get there one day. I'm good. If you can give me some of your time to help me and like kind of like give me tips and stuff, like I'll take that all day, but I don't need the money because I already have a plan to get there. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when people who see people who are rich and they want their money, they don't respect number one, they don't even know the first thing about money. Like anybody who's complaining about money is like, like, hey, all these rich people and stuff like that. It's like, why? You honestly don't know anything about like money at all. If you did, you would understand, you would respect what they're doing. And it's in there saying like, hey, let me go probably read a book that they probably wrote, or listen to a podcast they're on where they're even talking about how they got there. And that's my thing, man. Like I said, I wouldn't give a dime to nobody. And it's not because I don't care about them. No, it's true. It's like, why give you money? Why? You're going to be right back in the same situation.
$30 million, Mike, you better give me a fucking mill. Just give me $1 million and I'll do the rest with it. You don't even have to worry about it. Just give me $1 million. If you're $30 million rich man, give me $1 million. I'll be good. And we'll be chilling.
Well, it was about like what you and I were talking about, right? Like on all seriousness, we're talking about companies, and I was telling you like, hey, here's this and that. There was no point where I was sitting there saying like, here's this, like, hey, we could do it this way, we could do it that way, we could do it that way, and you got really serious, and you're like, okay. So that's what I'm saying. At that point, that shows how much I care, because I'm sitting there saying, hey, we can actually, you can do this, and you can do it without me. We could do it together. I'm cool either way. But more importantly, here's a game. Here's how to set you up on a side. And most people don't look at things that way, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I really care, I'm gonna give you time to show you how to get there without me. Because if I give you money to get there, you will always resent me. You always have an issue with me, because I can always hang that over your head. And as men, we need to always make sure that we do it on our own. If somebody if somebody pays your way for stuff, just like we were talking about earlier with schools and shit like that, you're not gonna care about it. But if you hustled and grind your way up there, and the only thing that people did was give you like, hey, here's some advice, here's the way I did it, here's the lessons learned, and you were to take that and do it, you'd be fine. you wouldn't even be angry that they didn't give you money. You would appreciate it more because that's how you succeed.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody gave me $30 million 10 years ago, probably be broke already because I wouldn't know how at all. Now, if somebody gave me 30 million now, I'd be like, you know what I mean? Someone's like, hey, here's $30 million now. I'd be like, okay, cool. We'll take 25 of that million real quick. We'll throw it into a couple index funds. The whole my kids are millionaires now. Okay, cool. We're good. We'll go back and then we won't even need the money because I'm going to be there. So, you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like it's one of those ones where I'm not paying nobody. Like what's that movie, the Brooklyn something where he's like talking about like if you pay that guy $20 to stay away from your life. It's a Brooklyn Story, I think it is.
I'm not sure. Who was the main
Bro,
character?
It's one of those it's one of those goofy like New York movies where it's like it's a Brooklyn guy and they have those accents.
Was it the King of New York?
Sonny. I don't know. It's like they go in there. There's like a bar and like the mafia's in there. And like, there's some bikers.
The Bronx Tale.
There you go. Yeah, that one.
There's some good life lessons in that movie where he talks about that.
It is the one that I took from that movie the most was about the door with the girl.
Yes, yeah. How you could tell. But the other one too was where he asked him, "Would you rather be hated or loved?" And he gave him the breakdown that he said, "I would rather be hated because that means they fear me." He was like, if I let them love me, then, you know, they're not going to respect me because, you know, I'm just gullible that way. So he chose hate over the love.
I disagree with that one,
but
though.
He chose hate over love. I mean, he was a mob boss, though.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah. I mean, I get it.
He needed to say hate because he needed these people to fear him. He was not there to be like, yo, let's remove him and take his spot. But
yeah. No, I agree. Like a lot of those have really good, like those older movies where they like, you know, like I said, going there, and this is like for anyone else, man, you go and open a door for a lady, and now it's a little bit more trickier because once you hit unlock, that shit's unlocked. But you got to figure out some ways how you make sure does she care about me? Is she gonna look out for me? And then same thing, you know, I tell my daughter like, hey man, like I still open the door for my wife, I still open my door for my daughters, and it's kind of like, you know, that's at least for us, right? Like, hey man, that's a test. You know, you don't open the door.
Chivalry's not
like,
dead.
Some dudes just drive up, honk the horn and shit. Be like, yo,
get the fuck in already. Roll down the window.
And the girl's like, okay. Yeah.
She's like, yo, okay, I'll get hurry
like,
up. We got reservations in 10 minutes. I put the reservation for 7:30. Yeah. You're already fucking driving us late.
Yeah. Be like, you can walk me to the door. Be like, you're fine. Get out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these? Like, but again,
why are you wearing heels? You should have worn
sneakers.
I told you not to wear heels.
Yeah. But it's gonna be that conversation I had with my daughter where like, you know, when they go out on dinner or go out on dates and it's like, oh, he's gonna meet me there. But like, fuck no, like you're not going out tonight then. Like he can come over here. Well, you're intimidating or what? I don't give up. That's part of the fucking point, man. Like, you know, it's you gotta have like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's this is gonna be like kind of like more of a rant and I apologize, but you know, a lot of people, like a lot of younger people, especially younger men, do not have any fucking self-respect for themselves. And it shows that they have no self-respect for themselves of how they talk to others. Yeah. And what I mean by that is like, man, like, there's something weird about going up to somebody, looking in the eye, but hey, how you doing? My name is, you know what I mean? Like, just square up, man. Just like that, respectable. Right. And you see with a lot of the older gentlemen, when I approach them and I talk to them, hey, how you doing? Talk to them. I stand up. If I'm sitting down, they come approach me. We stand up, shake hands. How you doing, sir? You know, I'm doing that. It's that idea of like how that's lost on a lot of people of just and it's not, I don't even know it's old school. It's just, man, there's a way to represent yourself to others, especially other men, where other men being like, okay, we're on the same fucking level. But if they come and talk to me and I'm sitting down like, what's up, man? Like, you know, dude's like, oh, hell no, I'm not fucking with you. Like, not fucking with you.
Yeah, but
man.
I think the generations definitely have changed with that etiquette and those manners because, I mean, I feel like it boils down to your parents' upbringing as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we were the same way. You know, for us, we were respectable. When we used to see the older ladies coming down with the grocery bags, dude, me and the kids on the block will run. We'll grab the bags for her. Take it because she would live on the 4th floor. We'll carry the bags all the way to the 4th floor. There was some that still use the shopping carts where they put the groceries in the cart and they'll take it. My mom had one and take it all the way back to the apartment. And that's heavy. So we will go and we'll grab the cart and we'll take it all the way upstairs. But again, that was the upbringing. Like we had love for the elderly. You know what I'm saying? Like we looked at them as mother figures, you know, as aunts or whatever. So we were always respectable in that sense. But I think nowadays, you know, is who your parents are and the way they're teaching you that. Like some of my nephews, you know, they say sir or ma'am when they're talking to an older gentleman or older lady. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just the hospitality of it where the parents are like, you better be respectable. Because when you come across where you're like you said, what's up, yo? What's up? Yo, 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 this, yo, yo, that. People are gonna be like, what is wrong with this person? You know, like, do you not have any self-respect for yourself? Because you're gonna come across as you're not a gentleman, you're very disrespectful. Like, who are your parents? How did they raise you? You know, everything is gonna be negative connotations about you. Whereas if you come across
Yeah.
respectable, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, they're gonna be like, damn, his parents taught him well. You know, and it's easy to see. You know, you could visibly see when one is very professional and one is just very an asshole, you know? So, but I
Yeah.
think the upbringing is that, and that's why, you know, it sucks because that now that we live in such a viral world of social media and everything, I don't know how many times I see videos, and I think we talked about it, of the kids yelling at their parents, cursing at their parents, you know,
Yeah.
telling dad to shut the fuck up, or telling mom get the fuck. Like the one, what's that TikTok prank where the kid tells the mom, "Oh, shut up, mom," and just to see the reaction of the dad.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
that's what we come to. That now we're trying to make a joke about it. And I was happy to see that a lot of these dads were like, "What the fuck you just say?" Like, I'm gonna whoop that ass now, you know.
Right.
But some other parents don't. Like, they okay with their kid telling them, "Shut up, mom." You know what I'm saying? Like, they just think they could puff their chest or do whatever they want to do and get away with it. But the old school parents, they
Yeah.
would, you try to say "shut up," bam, right across the mouth. You know, but
So
that
this weekend, I'm helping out with, so I'm working with this organization. It's called Duty First,
Okay.
right? So Duty First is is a veteran organization, or it's a nonprofit that provides training for service dogs for veterans for PTSD,
Nice.
right? So we had a yeah, they're pretty cool. Like I said, it's local, so I can actually have an organization that's here locally. You know, they're like just it's dope
Right.
as shit that someone that's out there doing that, right? Especially here in West Texas, we don't have anything like that. So it's awesome that this organization exists, and more important, that it's here locally where I can actually help out. So we're at this event this weekend. It was the first ever egg roll eating contest, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so they had I think, I forgot what the league's name is, but it's legit a league for eating.
Yeah.
Like professional eaters,
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
they call them, came down to Lubbock this weekend to eat egg rolls. They had to eat they had 8 minutes to see how many egg rolls they could eat.
In 1 minute?
Yeah.
Oh,
In
in
8
8
minutes.
minutes.
They had in 8
Yeah.
minutes how many
Do
egg
you
rolls can they
remember
eat?
the names? Any names came across? Was there Kobayashi? There should have been another one with anybody with
No.
a face paint.
So no, it was kind of fucking comical.
Yeah.
There was a dude, I forgot what his name was, like Reyes Rage. He's a Puerto Rican. Dude had a fucking
Yeah,
belt.
yeah, like a
and
wrestling
motherfucker
belt.
was wearing
Yeah.
tights. Yeah, he was wearing tights.
Nice.
They had like a promo going on and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like it was really weird because it's like, hey, you can't really hear them, so they're
Yeah.
kind of yelling at each other, and you're just like, do they get it, right? Like this is food eating, and none of us are taking any of this shit
dude.
serious, right? It's just, but anyways, and so like, so they have egg rolls, right? So there's a place out here in Lubbock called Outlaw Egg Rolls, which I'm hoping to talk to him. I talk to him hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully we have him
Okay.
on actually. But he is a veteran himself. So what's really cool, man, about this is like, so I hit him up and was like, hey, we're doing this, and he's like, oh, you're doing this organizations for this? Cool, man, hop on, like, y'all, like, just anything you need, man, let me know, type of
Right.
thing, right? So we're there. And it's kind of crazy, you know, you're in these little environments and it's like, you're in a niche area, right? Like it's just, we're the spectators and we're kind of the visitors in that sense. Cause you know, we're there to kind of bring awareness for what we're doing, to look for fundraising and stuff like that. And you're over there and it is fucking wild to see people eating legit egg rolls. Like they're just, I think the first place winner ate 30 egg
Damn.
rolls or 32 egg rolls in like 8 minutes. And they're like fucking
Right,
big decent
right.
sized egg rolls. And that was like, so we have competitors come down. And so like there's one, I think they're called the power couple. It's like the husband's fucking jacked and like that. The girl's like this small little Asian girl, and like that's their kind of like little gimmick in a
Right.
sense. But you know, someone's following them around and they have videos and they're eating shit and they're like, they don't look like, you know, I mean, they're like fit, you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. And it was just like, it's that weird where you go somewhere else and you forget, man, like this world is so unique in that sense of like, there's a small pocket of people that I would have never known about. And I went to some of their YouTube channels, 50,000, followers, 50,000 subscribers. One video had like 2K like views on it. Like, it's these small, like you forget at times that this world is so beautiful because it's so big, but there's so many different like pockets. And like, that's like, it's awesome because you can thrive in anything. Like, I mean, I personally would never watch somebody who's in most of their videos were like, hey, well, today we're going to eat a big ass fucking pizza, or I'm training for this event. So see me eat hot dogs. It's fucking wild that A, that exists, and B, would you enter into a contest to see what you could throw down?
I would, man.
Because you're a big cat.
I would. I appreciate the emphasis on the big cat, but I would do it. Yo, I'll be honest with you, man. So Coney Island in New York is known as the mecca of hot dog eating contests there. And they actually did a documentary on the participants there. And there's this one from, I don't know if he's from Japan, Korea, wherever. But this dude is ripped. So they did a documentary to show, there actually is like an art form sort of how they prepare themselves to be able to eat the amount that they need to eat in order to win. So when they were doing the documentary, they were showing his routine. This guy would eat bowls and bowls of fucking noodles. And what he does is he eats that much so it expands his stomach. So once he knows, like, he preps himself all that way, just keeps expanding the stomach. So when it comes the time for the contest, he could put so much down because the stomach has been so expanded that it could hold so much. And you wouldn't even think of it because this dude was ripped, trim and everything else. But just the way he would challenge his gastro and everything else to just expand his muscles, his tissue and everything. So that way he could consume all that stuff. This guy won like 3 years in a row or something like that. Like, I think they were doing it like every year. And he won all the time. I think his name was Kibiyashi, something like that. But this dude was like legit the man to beat, man. And, they'll take the hot dogs. Some of them were like, dump it in the water just to make it soggy because it goes down easier instead of trying to just eat it natural. So they would sog the bread or whatever because you had to eat the whole thing. You couldn't just eat the hot dog. You had to eat the bun and the hot dog. So they would put in the water, sog the bread, and eat the hot dog while just eating the bread at the same time. Like, there was just like a mentality of it, how they were doing it. But Coney Island was the mecca for the hot dog. I don't know if it still goes on. I haven't really been paying attention, but dude, there is a sort of an art form for how they prepare themselves to do that, man. Seriously. So those people who came down, they already knew, like, okay, egg rolls, how am I going to eat it? Do I eat 2 at a time? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how fast do I do it? Did you see any of them dipping the egg rolls in anything? Were they doing things like that?
Yeah, so they had like water. Like,
were they dipping in water?
I mean, it's really weird. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, it's trying to make it soft, but it's weird. Like egg rolls are different, right? Like, egg rolls have a different texture to them. So when I was in Vegas, there was a guy I worked with at Gold's Gym he was a professional eater, and he would tell me like, because I'm curious about it. I have zero interest to do this shit. I would never, like, I don't care about that portion. I just love the idea of someone's like, hey, I have this and I have no clue about it, but this is how you break it down. And he was breaking it down like, okay, it matters how long the hot dog, how long we cooked it, what is the bun we're using, what are we using for this one? Like, it was like, that's what I found very curious. Like, it went down to a science. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm gonna go make me hot dogs, I'm gonna fucking eat them. It's like, no, how long are they cooked? What kind of buns are we eating? What kind of weenies are we eating? Like, we can't just eat anything. It's expensive because we're using this brand because this brand is over here. Like, I love the thought process behind it. And every Sunday he would tell me he would eat like 2 whole watermelons to clear out his entire system. He would just eat it out just to flush himself out. And so I like that portion of it, not because I care about the food. I care about it, but just that idea that someone takes something and says, okay, I'm doing this. And like you said, it's not just like putting food in your face. There's a technique. He was telling me about like the chicken wings, like how you twist it, even like, there's so many different things where it's like, damn, but what do we got to do to get you to start training for a food eating contest? You don't have to go to work. Imagine that shit. If you keep that up, that's what I'm proposing to you right now. We can end on this. We can end on this, and hopefully we can let people decide for this one. But we can end on this. What do we got to do for you to become like a food champion? Like, what? I believe in you that much.
I'm gonna play some Eye of the Tiger No, honestly, I when I was watching the documentary, some of the participants will actually go to little competitions, just to get used to, eating all the time like that. Because let's say you get told in January, yo, the competition is not to June. What are you gonna be doing for 6 months? You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna wait to the day of to be like, okay, let me see how many hot dogs I can eat. So they will go to these little competitions and they'd be like, okay, 5 minutes, how many hot dogs? And he'll start the training from there, and it just keeps building up. But I think right now, if I was just to just go in there tomorrow and just try to do I could probably do like 4 or 5. and then I'll start throwing up everywhere else.
So you're down to start training. Is that like, think about this. That's what I want you to think about this. You could be a full-time work job student, right? Like what you claim to be. And then you can also be
There's no way
a food eater. That, I mean, you
ever saw the show
like,
Man versus
Food? Big cat.
They had to cancel that because the guy ran into health issues and everything else. Because he would go to these.
But he wasn't a big cat.
Yes, he was. He would go to these famous restaurants and be like, "Okay, what are you guys known for?" They're like, "Oh, we're known for the largest hamburger in the world." And he's like, "All right, this is the challenge. I'm going to eat that whole fucking hamburger right now." And the prize was you get your picture on the wall, you get a little medallion or something. And the dude would do that. Every episode was him eating something outrageous. And finally, the doctor was like, yo, you need to quit because if not, it's not going to look good for you. So,
yeah, but it's always the most unhealthy food. It's like, can we put 3 pounds of fucking cheese sauce on top of like 7 pounds of chili? That's
disgusting food.
But what I'm saying though is, what do we got to do? Think about this. You could potentially never have to work a day in your life again because you could just sit around, go to the beach, fucking chill out, go home, and train for a couple hours.
Give me some hot dogs. Rolo, give me some fucking hot dogs.
And fucking Rolo could be your fucking manager. Because I feel like just that New York in him, he'd be like, yo, my brother could do this. My brother could eat all kind of hot dogs. He eat them all. Don't worry about him. He's like, name your price, he's there. Shit. We'll give you money if he doesn't eat all these. Like, you can just like do random shit.
I wouldn't mind having Anthony Bourdain, may rest in peace, his job where he just traveled and ate different foods from all over different countries and everything. That's a nice gig.
But then why can't you do that though?
You're right, honestly. I could.
Why can't you do that? But what would prevent you from doing that right now?
Nothing.
So why don't you? Because this is what I think about. Like, honestly, if you look at it from that point of view, right? I would love to have this. If you go to your area in Orlando and you go, could you do that? Well, like you could do that, right? Hey, I'm gonna go try this hot dog and I'm gonna have a conversation with the hot dog over there. His name is Vinny. He came from Cuba or whatever, random shit like that. He got into it since he's been 16 and da. And then you have that on your phone. He would love to do it because it's free publicity for him. Like he doesn't know who you are, but you could tell him, by the way, Izzy the small cat, Devaya, and then you do Devaya, like you have to do it soft so people don't like when you do a little like the way you do it. It's like, hey, are you okay?
Baby,
like
get it right.
Yeah, you say it so slow where people are like, is he okay? You gotta say like it got the flow. But anyways, sorry, I digress. Yeah, you got what I mean? Like, you gotta let people know because it like yeah. I'm just like that. I'm 5'4". It's okay. So you're 5'4". But anyways,
5'3".
You go talk to this guy, right? Like honestly, like you could do that,
right? And
then you could just post that shit on YouTube. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think this idea is, you're going for your masters, right? And we've had this conversation plenty of times. But you're going for your masters. But like, at what point? And not like for you or anything, but at what point someone says, and say, you know what? I'm going to school. I'm making money, but that's okay. I got so many more other skills, but I don't know. Like the worst, like, you always told me like, yeah, I took 7 months for myself to go like that. To me, like, that's the worst thing in the world to do because it's like, you got that taste of like what it's like to not be in that fucking box every day. And then imagine yourself in 2 more years where you're in fucking slacks and some dress socks and you're wearing a polo tucked in shirt and you're in the office and you're like, fuck, there was last month I was fucking at the beach. Now I'm here at this shit wearing a monkey suit and fucking Linda won't shut the fuck up about what she did last weekend. That's you know what I mean? Like, but if you start today, if you go and start looking at the stuff, you can legit fucking
be a fucking man eater of hot dogs and egg rolls.
Yeah, so this is what I say you do. I say you go this weekend, or either tonight or tomorrow, since you're off and you're a fucking bum. While you're at the beach, go find some food and be like, hey, do you mind if I record you for my YouTube channel, do this and that? And then I'm gonna see how many of these things I can eat.
That's the challenge.
two birds, one stone right there. You're now Izzy the small cat about to be the big cat. I think it's a good line
Izzy
for you,
the
by the
man.
way. We can make a line
the
like
man eater, big cat, the big cat man eater.
no. It's gonna be Izzy the small cat becoming a big
Damn.
cat. Like that. It just rolls. It just rolls really well.
I don't.
You know what
I
mean?
don't.
Like,
I
it
don't
just
think it rolls. I don't think it
flows.
flows at all. I think Izzy the
It's
big
like, yeah, I'm
cat.
a small cat
is
becoming
better.
a big
It
cat.
flows better.
Dude, no, like small cat becoming a big cat.
Yeah.
You could make that into a rap song. I could put that on a loop for you and put some beats behind it, and then now we have our intro. You know what I mean? Like I have an intro already made for you. If you just say it like
there
that.
are so
And
many. There are
anyways.
so many of you that I have changed from a small cat to almost a medium-sized cat. You're not big cats yet. Like
Yeah.
I always tell you guys, you're still
And then-
medium-sized cats. I've trained you guys to go from small to medium-sized. So I'm almost there to where I'm getting you guys to your full potential to where you become big cats.
Yeah.
I mean, at the rate that
I think you gotta have
the rate that
catchphrases.
you're going, you're gonna be a slim cat. So you're gonna be like disappearing cat. We're not gonna see you anymore.
24 pounds, man.
Congratulations, man. Let me applaud you on that.
Thank you.
Let me applaud you.
Let me show some. Probably nobody's watching at this point. So
No,
that's funny. So that's why
do
we can
it.
do it.
People
But,
will
so
watch now. Do it.
This watch used to fucking fit me, and then this is where it's at right now.
How many fingers
Like,
can you
legit.
fit in there? Two. Look at that.
Man,
Nice.
that sound like a porno you just said. How many fingers can I fit in? Like that's weird, dude. You're
Well, we were
you're
talking
around
about
people
what
too
was
much, man.
loose. What was loose on you?
See, there you go.
But you did say watch, right?
This-
Didn't you say watch?
This is why the wives don't want you around their husbands. This is why. Next, you're probably talking about shockers and shit like that.
Whoa. We'll leave that for the next time.
Hey, actually, I'll end on this one. We did that in Iraq. We had a picture. We were teaching Iraqi kids how to do the shocker.
Stop
so
it.
there's pictures of us in Iraq doing the shocker, and the kid would be like shocker, and he just
Oh my
take a
god, that's terrible.
with a Michael Jackson song in
Yeah.
the background. And we're just fucking. He's dancing to it. Fucking hilarious.
Oh, shit.
Anyways,
All right, bro.
shit. All right, man.